Welcome to another Mathnificent Conversation featuring operations with real numbers. We're going to focus on addition and subtraction today. It's your nerdy math bestie Lex. Grab your pencils and let's go. We're going to start off with our background information, which I like to call mint green tea. So we're going to start off with addition. If I have two positive numbers that I'm adding, the answer is positive. If I start positive and I add something else positive, I'm only going in the right direction. I'm positive. If I start with a negative number and I add another negative number to it, I'm going left. I'm getting more negative. So my answer is negative. Here you should see a little bit of a pattern. If I start with two positives, the answer is positive. If I add two negatives, the answer is negative. So what I like to say is, if the signs are the same, add them up, and the sign stays the same. If the signs are different, I start with a positive and I add a negative, or I start with a negative and I add a positive. There isn't a strict rule in terms of what the sign of the answer will be. What we're going to do is, in our head, we subtract the two numbers. So we ignore what the signs are and we just subtract. Then the number with the higher value has the same sign as our answer. Let's quickly put some numbers with these words so we get a general idea of what I'm saying. So let's do 3 plus 5, negative 3 plus negative 5, negative 3 plus 5, and 3 plus negative 5. 3 plus 5 is a standard addition problem. Positive, positive, my answer should be positive. We know 3 plus 5 is 8. Negative 3 plus negative 5. I have 3 negatives and 5 negatives. Altogether, I have 8 negatives. You see how I'm just adding up the number of negatives I have. The sign should stay the same. Negative 3 plus 5. The signs are not the same. One is negative, one is positive. In my head, I subtract. 5 minus 3 is 2. Then I go back. Who was the bigger value? 5 is bigger than 3, and it's positive, so my answer is positive. 3 plus negative 5. The signs are different. One is positive, one is negative. So in my head, I subtract. 5 minus 3 is 2. Who's the bigger value? 5 is bigger than 3, so my answer is negative. Okay, we're going to continue with more mint green tea, but this time on subtraction. Always keep in mind, subtraction is just addition of the opposite. So what I mean by that is any subtraction problem I have, I can rewrite So if I have A minus B, that's equivalent to saying A plus the opposite of B. So whatever number B is, I make it negative to change it to an addition problem. Because of that, subtraction follows most of the same rules as addition, and then we have a couple special circumstances. So if I have some positive value A and I subtract some other positive value B, that's the same thing as saying I keep my positive value A, but now I'm going to switch the subtraction to addition, and that positive B is now a negative B. Well, this is a case we've already covered in addition. We have two numbers we're adding with different signs. One is positive, one is negative. So we follow the addition rules. Next, we have some negative value A, whatever the number is, and I'm going to subtract from it some positive B value. So that will rewrite as negative A plus the positive B is now going to become negative B. So again, we've covered this in addition. A negative plus another negative, we just add up the negatives and we end up with a negative number. So here again, we follow the addition rules. Now here's where subtraction has unique rules. So let's say we start with some positive value A, and I'm subtracting some negative value B. Anytime you have this double negative appearing, so minus a negative, if I can circle up those negatives in the middle, just like this, my pencil can group them together and supercharge them to a positive. So now what that means is I have some positive value A plus some positive value B. And again, now I have a positive plus a positive. We follow the addition rules. If I have some negative value A and I'm subtracting from it some negative value B, once I see double negative in the middle, my pencil can circle them up and group them together and supercharge them to a positive. So now I have a negative A plus a positive B, which again, we're adding two numbers with opposite signs, one positive, one negative. We follow the addition rules. Okay, let's put some numbers to words so we can get a better understanding of what all of these really mean. So let's do 7 minus 4, 4 minus 7, negative 4 minus 7, 4 minus negative 7, and negative 4 minus negative 7. Remember, anytime I do examples, you should always try to pause, do it yourself, and then play to check your answers or for understanding. But always try first. Okay, 7 minus 4 is a standard subtraction problem. I wouldn't expect you to rewrite that as an addition problem. It's just 7 minus 4, it's 3. Now, 4 minus 7 is a little different. If you can do that in your head, please feel free. But I know that this is the same thing as 4 plus -7. Now I see it as a positive and a negative that I'm adding, which means in my head I subtract. 7 minus 4 is 3. Then I go back. Who had the higher value? 7 is larger than 4, so my answer is negative. -4 minus 7. I'm going to rewrite it as an addition problem. This is -4 plus -7. Now I see I'm adding up two negative numbers, so I just add them in my head, knowing that they're negative. 4 negatives and 7 negatives is 11 negatives. 4 minus -7. I see that I can take my pencil, circle up these negatives, and supercharge them to a positive. So this is really 4 plus 7, which is positive 11. -4 minus -7. I see I can take my pencil, supercharge these to a positive. And so what this really is -4 plus 7. -4 plus 7. The signs are opposite. One is negative, one is positive. In my head, I subtract. 7 minus 4 is 3. I go back. Who had the higher value? 7 is bigger than 4 and it's positive, so my answer is positive. I hope this was helpful in understanding addition and subtraction of real numbers. We will come back with multiplication and division next. Remember, you are magnificent, you are brilliant, and I'll see you in the next video.